Hellcat.
Hi viewers, welcome to Techie Track YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about how we can display the records into the ReactJS and how we can search the record and export the records into the Excel or CSV format. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, so here if you see that I'm just displaying a simple output. Okay, so what it is there, we need to just render the records from the JSON array. So it contains a list of bakery items, snacks bar items, ID, name, price, quantity. So what I'm going to do that, I'm going to create a array with the JSON values. So in the below example, if you see that right, I'm going to create a simple file name called rendertable.js. So in line number 1, I'm importing the React use state and use effect from the React. So the line number 2 mention a data table. So data table is nothing but another file name. Okay, so I'm going to introduce another file name. So from the line number 6 onwards, I'm creating a constant name called items. So it is a JSON array. So you know that JSON is having the key value pairs. So we are going to render the snacks bar related items. So you see that ID, name, price, quantity, these are all the keys, and values will be the different one, either cake, bread, chocolate, and its own prices, quantity, and IDs. Okay. So the purpose is we are going to render these items into the UI. So come back to the line number 12. You can leave line number 10. It is a duplicate code. I will let you know later point of time. So in line number 14, just display the header data table, and line number 16, I'm calling the data table another one file. So it is another one JS file. So what I'm going to do in the data table, right? So in line number 2, I just import the data table, that is a new file. So I'm just passing the one of the parameter into the data table function. The parameter name is items, and within the braces, I'm just passing the JSON array items. Okay, so this entire line number 6 to 8, that entire JSON array will be passed to the data table function. So in the data table function also we have the same kind of import statement, and in line number 4, right, I'm just checking that what I'm checking that, in data table function we have the parameter called items. So I'm checking that items parameter contains any records or not. Definitely it's having the records, so items of 0 will be true. After that, it will take the list of keys from the JSON array. Okay, so list of keys from the first position of the array, because the array is having 3 items, right? If you see that the array is having 3 items. So item of 0 contains the cakes data, item of 1 contains breads data, and item of 2 contains chocolates data. So I want to just get the key name from the items of 0, because anyway for the 3 items the key name will be the same for each item, right? So I want to just display the columns. So that's the reason in line number 4, object.keys of items of 0. So it will take only the key names from the keys from the items of 0th position. So it will contain ID, name, price, and quantity. So those values will be assigned to the columns constant. So next one is search constant. I'm just declaring that, and I set it as a use state of empty. We'll come to the next lines. So the line number 8 is just displaying one table, and the table's cell padding is 1 and cell spacing is 1. I just set the name as snacks table 1, snacks table. Okay, so just I set the ID as snacks table. So in line number 10, I'm taking the first array, okay, first position of the array, items of 0. So again I'm checking that items of 0 is having the value, definitely. So the columns contains the 4 keys data, right? So I am just iterating through the data. what I'm going to do that I want to just display the headers, right? So I want to just display the headers. So that's the reason what I done that I written a iteration loop here. So column start map of obj with is equal to greater than and th obj and close that table header tag. So what it means, column start map of obj means, so the columns constant contains 4 keys, right? So I want to iterate that. So to iterate those columns array, I am using the obj key. So obj will take each value. So first it will get the id, and next it will get the name, and it will get the price, and it will get the quantity. So it will easily display those things. You can see that, right? Here we display the id, name, price, quantity. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next line, that line number 12, the table body. Here we need to display the data. So we need to do two things. So first of all, we need to take each row's value, and we need to display the appropriate columns value, because that items is a JSON array. It contains 3 set of values. So in line number 13, I put items dot map of row. So the variable row contains the entire value. Like first of all, it will take the items of 0. What is the items of 0? Items of 0 contains the entire thing. ID1, name, cake, price, and its value. So item of 1 means ID as 2, name, bread, price, and quantity. Item of 2 means it will take the chocolates value. So we are going to iterate each and every items. So in line number 13, item start map of row. So it will take the first array value. So it contains the complete details. Column start map of, again I am taking the columns value. So column of row, within the square bracket I just put the column name. So the columns contains what are all the things, we already see that, right? It contains id, name, price, quantity. So what it will do, row contains the entire records and the column contains the header's name. So row of column, so it means it will take the first value of the id. So it will render the row of id means it will print 1, and row of name means it will print cake, and row of price means it will print 10, and row of quantity means it will print 0. Okay, so then the loop will be getting iterated the next time. So the item start map of row, so the what is the next row, it will take the next item's value. So the row contains the entire array's position value, and again we are going to iterate those things. So item of row of column, so the row contains the second record. So it is printing that row of id, row of name, row of price, and row of quantity. The same way it will be iterate the next item also. It will print row of id, so it will be 3, and row of name means it will print the third array's value. Okay, so it will print the third position value. So hope you will get how the rows and columns are working and how we are rendering the information into the UI. Okay, so it's simply a map. That map is used to render the value into the front end. Okay, so in the UI point of view, right, the very big challenge is we want to do the search scenarios. In the earlier days, the people are writing the queries, and they are calling the services, like they need to write the model view controller classes, and they need to render the value based on the search query, right? But the React is making very simple, so we can use those things using the React and jQuery methods also. So what I'm trying to achieve, like I'm going to introduce a new text box. So in the if I type any letter or words in the text box, it needs to render the appropriate value into the UI. Okay, so if I type the keys, right, then immediate that search needs to be executed immediately. So if I type the key B, then it needs to be getting executed. So it needs to display what are all the values are having the value as B. If I type C, it needs to render what are all the values are having the value as C. So for each key press, the search query needs to be getting executed. Okay, so for this I'm going to introduce a new text box, and for the key press event, right, I'm going to write one on change event. While I'm changing the text box value, it needs to be execute the it needs to be render the appropriate items into the front end. Okay, so without touching the backend or without hitting any services class, how we can achieve that? So in the earlier program, I am going to introduce another one line called in the line number 11. I am introduce a new variable called search. The search contains the set search method. Okay, and I am going to utilize introduce a new function called find. So the find function will be helpful for you to uh, display the records easily. You can query the record and display it easily. Okay. If you see in the line number 19, I'm giving the simple label search and introduce a new text box. Input type is text and value of search and on change. So this is the on change event. Why, whenever you are changing the when you are typing the text in the text box, right, it will be getting executed. That on change event will be getting fired. So that E means event. So here I am setting the set search of e dot target dot value. What it will do, it will take the value of the text box and it will be assigned to the search. So in line number 11, I introduce a new variable called the search. So it will be assigned to that constant. What is the value you typed in the text box? If you type B, then the on change will be getting executed and that value will be assigned to the constant called search. Okay, then the same value needs to be rendered into the text box also. So that's the reason value of search I put it here. Okay, so now we got the what is the search text we typed. Now we need to get the records only for the given search text, right? For that I'm going to use the find method. So in line number 21, I'm calling the data table function items of, within the braces I put it as find of items. So what it will do, the find method will be getting executed. What is the value of items? First of all, the items contains the three values, correct? So it will go to the line number 13 and the rows will get the three records. So again rows dot filter. So the rows dot filter, what it will do, within the row start filter, row is equal to row dot name dot two lowercase I used dot index of search dot two lowercase. So here what is the search text we give that? For example, in the text box I just type it as a capital B. So the value of the variable search variable will be B. So what it will do internally, that row dot name dot two lowercase means it will take each value from the, so it will take the each value of the name field. So if you see that line number 7, what is the name field? It contains cake. Line number 8, name field value is bread, and line 9, the name field's value is chocolate. What is the input I give that? Search value is B. So row dot name dot two lowercase. Two lowercase means it will convert the entire text into the lowercase. Okay, because the line number 7, 8, 9, that name fields having the first letter as capital and the next letter as small, right? Cake is C is capital, bread B is capital, and chocolate C is capital. So for the search scenario, I convert all the capital letters into the small letters. So that's the reason I put it as row dot name dot two lowercase. So this rows dot filter, and within the row, what it will do, it will take each record and it will just match that. Either that value of the name is matching with the search text. The search text contains a simple character called B. So that row dot name dot two lowercase of index of B. So if the search value B is available within the particular name, then it will be displayed. Otherwise, it won't be displayed. So in our example, we have the three values: cake, bread, and chocolate. If my input is B, then first record won't be getting matched. Second record will be matched because it is having the bread, so it will be matched, and third record it won't be matched. So what it will be there? So the find method return only the second record, right? So the line number 8 is having the second record, right? It will be passed to the data table and it will be getting rendered. If you see that I gave the search text as B, so it will iterate through this JSON array and it will take the appropriate value and it will be getting displayed here. Okay. Okay. So the next thing is we are going to export the data output into the either Excel or CSV. So I'm going to introduce a new button, Excel button. So to export it to the Excel, I need to install the React HTML table to Excel. This is the package I need to install it in my system. So once I done the Node.js installation, I need to import that. If you see in the line number 2, I am importing the React HTML table to Excel and put it as one reference name React Export Excel. So if you see in the line number 22, so I am using the report Excel, React report Excel, and line number 23 I just give the table is equal to snacks table. So if you see the line number 9, I gave the table ID as snacks table. I want to export that particular table into the Excel. So that's the reason table is equal to snacks table I gave that. And file name, what is the name of the file? The file name will be the snacks Excel and it will be the only one sheet. So sheet is equal to snacks bar and give the button text as Excel. Okay. So once I click the button, it will internally call the report React report Excel and it will the node package will do all these things and it will generate the Excel sheet. If you see that, it will generate the Excel sheet snacks Excel dot XLS. It's getting generated. I just opened that. If you see that what is the output, we saw that we can get it into the Excel sheet also. Okay. In the same way, we can get it as a CSV also. For the CSV, we have another one package called react-csv. You need to install it. So for that, I'm just including a hypertext export as CSV. The same way in line number 3, I just import that CSV link from react-csv. In the line number 27, if you see that CSV link ID is equal to report and data is equal to items, that entire items whatever we have that, and file name is equal to report.csv, and I just give this export as CSV is the hyperlink text. If I click that, then it will be getting generated. You can see the output here, that is the CSV file. Okay, so hope you understood about what is how we can display the text and how we can export it as Excel and CSV. So hope you can get a complete idea about these things. Thanks for watching this channel. Please subscribe it, share it. Happy coding. Bye bye.